Just give me like 1 to 3 ways to fix that shot. 1 to 3 ways, you say? All right. You know, I almost didn't do this video today. The reason being is there are thousands of videos online about how to fix a slice. It's literally the #1 video that golf coaches like myself provide you, the amateur golfer. And it amazes me that amateur golfers still continue to slice the ball even with all the information out there. But I want to give you 3 simple ways that you can fix your slice. And I'm not kidding when I say this. This is not clickbait. This is not bullcrap. This is literally 3 ways that can make it super easy to fix that slice. Now, out of the 3 things I talk about here, the last one is extremely important, and without it, your ball is still going to go way out to the right. But before we get into that, we need to understand what causes that slice. Now, it's fairly simple. We have a club face that is open to the path. Now, what that means is a golfer will typically get an out to in path with an open face. That's as simple as it needs to be. Now, the first thing that we want to change in order to stop that slice is our grip. We need to strengthen that golf grip up. A lot of golfers who slice the ball have weak grips. Now, what is a weak grip? A weak grip is when the lead hand goes underneath the grip a little bit too much. And when I look down at that lead hand, I can see roughly just 1 knuckle, the index finger. And what this does is, at neutral wrist angles, which is just when I'm relaxed, that club face is way open. Now, the right hand also goes on a little bit weak, which would be too far on top. So when a golfer grips it weak with the left hand, weak with the right hand, they have no hope of squaring that club face up. So the first thing we need to do is we need to strengthen that club face. So what we're going to do with the left hand is we're going to get more on top. So what you should be looking for when you have that grip in a stronger position is I can see at least 2 knuckles on my lead hand. When I get into neutral wrist angles now, which is just me relaxed, you'll see that this golf club is nice and closed. Now, with the trail hand, instead of it being on top, we want it to come in from the side or even slightly underneath the grip. So from the side would look like this, and from the bottom or from the underneath would look like this. Now, we need to be careful with strengthening it too much because then we will just hit it left. So I would recommend this trail hand come in from the side of the grip, and now all of a sudden we have a very strong club face, and I can guarantee you we won't hit it right so long as you do the final step, which we'll talk about very soon. Now, the second thing we're going to talk about is ball position. Now, why is ball position important? The further forward you put that ball position, the more left we are going to swing. The further back you put that golf ball, the more from the right or from the inside you're going to swing. So a simple way to work on your ball position is just to simply set up a station as I have right here. I've got my tee section, and this line right here is going to be my ball position. So if you were to stand where your golf ball would normally be, I would have this ball position perhaps a little bit too far forward in my stance. So what we want to do is we want to make these 2 gaps, the gap between my left foot and the stick and the right foot and my stick, we want to make those somewhat even or even favoring a little bit more towards the back foot. So how I would recommend you do this is place your feet together, and I want you to take 2 even steps. And what it's going to look like is this: 1, 2. And that's a very easy way for us to know that that ball is in the middle of our feet. So if you were wanting to have a more back ball position, you could take a bigger step with the left foot and a smaller step with the right foot. And as you can see there, the stick, there is more gap in the front foot than there are in my back foot. And that's going to make sure that I get my path to move slightly more from the inside as opposed to carving across it to the left. Now from this angle here, I'm going to show you the club path that this golf club takes off when the ball positions change in our feet. So I've just got a 5-iron here, but that's a middle ball position right there. And as an example of where the ball position is, if we move that ball too far forward or too far back, what you'll be able to see is on the way down, this golf club is moving from the inside. We're going to start to turn and we would meet the golf ball from the inside. However, the ball is in the middle right now, so this golf club will continue working to the left. We hit it pretty much square in our arc, and then on the way forward, if the ball is too far forward, you're going to see this golf club start to work more to the left. Which brings me to that final thing that we're going to do in order to stop that slice. And that final thing is changing the path of our golf club. And how we're going to do that is by just closing our stance ever so slightly. Now this is super important because we need to change our path in order to change our slice. And here's why it's so crucial. If we just had 2 elements out of the 3 and we strengthened our grip, so we've now got a much more closed face. We changed the ball position and got it maybe towards the middle as opposed to forward. But I kept the same path as what you were currently doing, which is coming over the top of this thing and slicing it, okay, this way. We're going to be met with this kind of a shot. And you can see there that that ball has just gone straight left on me. So now, granted, you've changed your slice into a pull. Now I wouldn't say that's a better miss because you're still going to be in trouble. So we now have a much more closed face, check. We have a much better ball position, check. But now we need to change the path. We can't keep carving across it with a closed face because now we've got a different issue on our hands. So a very simple solution to getting that path to move much more from the inside in order to hit a draw is to drop our right foot back. All we want to do is we want to close our stance ever so slightly. And what that's going to do is that's going to close my feet. They're going to start aiming to the right. It's going to make my hips aim at the right, and it's going to turn my shoulders and aim that to the right. Now, if I can continue to have my nice shut, strong face, my ball position's in a good spot, and my club can now be delivered from the inside, that slice is guaranteed to be gone. So let's do a brief summary on what we need to do in order to stop that slice. Number 1, we need a stronger grip. And when we strengthen our grip, we're getting the lead hand on top and the trail hand from the side. That will give us a much stronger club face position. Number 2, we need our ball position to be more towards the middle of our stance. We don't want it to be too far forward because that's going to hit the ball more on the leftward arc and it's likely to slice that ball. So we want to make sure that that ball position is in the middle of our stance at a bare minimum. And then the third thing is we want to feel like we close our stance a little bit. And what that's going to do is that's going to help us feel like that club can start to move a bit more rounded and have a path that's more in to out. As long as our face is nicely closed with that in to out motion, we're going to eliminate that slice. So if we put that all together, strong grip, middle ball position, stance slightly closed, body aiming to the right, I'm guaranteed to hit this ball with a nice little draw. And that was perfect. It's exactly how I'd want to see a golf ball be hit. No longer am I getting those weak right shots. I'm not hitting a big pull. I'm getting that ball to start nicely on target and bend back to the left. So as you can see there, that was super simple. You can do all of those 3 things. Stronger grip, move that ball position back, drop the right foot back and close your stance. And as long as you do all those 3 things, it's impossible to hit a slice. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense for you. Thanks for watching.